to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, we call this meeting to order at 12:04, October 30th, 2017. Our special meeting today is about orientation of the club experience, Toastmasters Club experience. What we're going to do today is to eat, munch along as you listen to three speakers that will come to you this afternoon and tell you about important facts in our club, dealing with club success, dealing with Distinguished Club Program. There are two programs that are very important to this club, and we feel privileged and honored as officers to bring this information to you that you would understand more about the Health Masters Toastmasters Club. I am going to welcome to the lectern first. Oh, we need a timer. May I have a timer? All right, thank you, Toastmaster Borden. Camille is waiting for the pizza to arrive. I saw her as I was coming up. So we have our timer, and our first speaker will be Adrian Duncan. Adrian Duncan, DTM. He will speak to us about membership. Welcome, Adrian Duncan.
All right, give everybody a hand. A big day. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Arkansas Health Department Toastmasters. I have a request this morning because I'm doing an interview. I want you to help me with the recruitment of new members in Toastmasters. This is a new job application that I have whereby they want me to do these items. If you think recruitment is tough, I have a question. I'm going to do this interview. This person asked me and told me what I could and could not do in a classroom of 30 students. They want me to document everything, and then they want to give me a salary, and I want to know if you would be willing to accept that salary after taking on these responsibilities. Dave Rudney, would you come down please for a minute? Give Dave Rudney a big hand. I've got something I need for him to read. Give him a big hand. Today's membership and recruitment. Come on down, Dave. I'm going to put him to work. Recruitment, one of the things we have to do, need to do, is to build a rapport face-to-face with individuals. I find the 30-second interview, an elevator speech, will help you the most. What are the three most valuable benefits of Toastmasters? Number one is salary increase. Number two is self-confidence. No longer are you afraid of cancer or public speaking. It will help you get through those particular items of desperation. The next part of Toastmasters is helping individuals see where are you in your Toastmasters dilemma. Are you willing to step out by faith, and are you willing to help that person sitting next to you or across the table from you? I find if you will help the person next to you or across the table from you get what they need, the very basics, in Toastmasters recruitment, you will have a new friend. Even if you have someone that is an enemy, if you will teach them the very basics of recruitment for new members, showing them how they can stand in front of a group or face-to-face interviews, you will understand how Toastmasters can benefit you. I have a young person that I've worked with for the past year. His number one problem is not standing up doing a presentation. He can stand up and do a presentation for an hour with no problem. However, when he goes to meet the person that he has to interview with, or if he has a person that's coming into his section that he has to talk to face-to-face and interview to determine if they're capable and qualified to do the job in assisting him or her in that arena, it's a problem. He, she cannot do it. Technically, truthfully, is not willing to do it. He has someone else, she has someone else to come in and actually do the interview for him or her. Has Dave come back in the room? Not yet? Okay. All right. The next part of this, I'm finding a recruitment is finding out, giving a person a flyer helps a great deal. The next thing is giving that person a Toastmasters magazine. at highlighting the items in that particular magazine or articles in that magazine that would help that person include how to overcome their personal limitations. I find if you will let that person look through the magazine and find the one or two articles in that particular magazine that will help them overcome the situation that they are presently dealing with, will help them immensely. The other thing I'm finding about is Facebook and Instagram and the other arenas therein where you can help that person say to another person, Toastmasters has helped me with my job, has helped me with my internet, has helped me with interviewing, has helped me just simply getting through my day-to-day routine by seeing other people having basic limitations of 1, 2, 3, or 4. The next step in that is asking the person, how can I help you with Toastmasters? Have you been on Toastmasters.org? Do you know what leadership is all about? Do you know how those individuals that have become world-renowned speakers that are paid $10,000 for one speech that lasted 30 or 45 minutes? I talked to 2 individuals this past week. One of them made over $3,000 for one 30-minute speech. Another individual made $10,000 just for one 45-minute speech.
I want that job.
You've got it. You've got it. Now, you think I'm kidding. You believe I'm kidding. However, I can show you and introduce you to the person or persons that did this. One was a man, a gentleman. The other was a lady, quite a lady. That you can do almost anything once you can overcome the fear and realize there are 3 basic things. Number 1, Toastmasters is about your salary or your income. Number 2 is about self-confidence. Are you confident in what you can do in your job, your new job or opportunity that you have that may become one of the best that you could acquire? I may tell you this morning, I worked in a job for 18 years. I now have a new opportunity for a job. However, the new job requirements are totally different than what you can imagine. I do believe they are out of the ordinary. Who in the room would be willing to read for me for 2 or 3 minutes? Come down here. Come here. Tell me your name.
Joyce.
All right. Oh, Miss Joyce, come down here for 2 minutes. Give her a big hand. Recruitment and membership. Come on down, young lady.
I'm right here.
This is an interview that I have to do, and here's what the person expects me to do in this new job. Now, I did this job for 18 years. Now I've got a new job with 30 students that this is what they want me to do. Would you please read the requirements, please? Miss Joyce, give her a big hand. DTM Joyce!
After being interviewed by the school administrator on a prospective teacher, said, let me see if I've got this right. You want me to go into the room with all those kids, correct their disruptive behavior, observe them for signs of abuse, monitor their dress habits, censor their t-shirt messages, and instill in them a love for learning. You want me to check their backpacks for weapons, wage war on drugs, and sexually transmitted diseases, and raise their sense of self-esteem and personal pride. You want me to teach them patriotism and good citizenship, sportsmanship, hip and fair play, and how to register to vote, balance a checkbook, and apply for a job. You want me to check their heads for lice, recognize signs of antisocial behavior, and ensure that they all pass their final exams. You want me to provide them with an equal education regardless of their handicap and communication regularly with their parents in English, Arabic, or any other language by letter, telephone, newsletter, and report card. You want me to do all this with a piece of chalk, a blackboard, a bulletin board, a few books, a big smile, and a starting salary that qualifies me for New Start. You want me to do all this, and then you tell me I can't wear a necklace with a little cross, mention God, or say Merry Christmas because someone might take offense? Well, Now, what can you do with your job?
Give her a hand. She done an excellent job reading that. That's all about recruitment. They are recruiting teachers. Can you imagine a blind person like me? Thank you, Miss Joyce. Give her a big hand. DTM, Joyce. Let me tell you about membership. How tough is it to do a 30-second interview for a person on the elevator or passing them in the hallway and recommending Toastmasters for the 3 benefits that I just mentioned? Could you and would you accept this job for a starting salary as a beginning teacher after having taught for 18 years? Recruitment. And you think your job is tough? And you think 30 minutes for Toastmasters is unreasonable? Being a blind person with a handicap, what y'all call a handicap, I don't think I have a handicap if I taught 18 years and was successful therein. Recruitment, I believe, is the easiest thing we can do is recruit new members for Toastmasters. I want you to tell me or send me an email if you think I should take this job with that responsibility with the limitations that they're demanding that I cannot do. Madam Toastmaster, come on down.
Let's hear DTM. Duncan, a hand.
Good.
Would you like to take that job with starting pay? I still like to have the one with the 45 minutes and $10,000. That's my job right there. All right. We are ready. We are preparing. I'm going to set my sights on preparing for the $30,000 job, okay? $3,000, whatever it is, I'm ready to go to the limits. Our next speaker is going to be Vice President Jonna Jacobs, and she is the Vice President of Education. She has some valuable information for us as members about the Educational Successful Club series called, her speech is going to be the Toastmasters Educational Program. Very simple. Welcome down, Toastmaster Jacobs. CC.
Come on down. Toastmaster Jacobs. Come on down.
There it is.
I've also printed out copies of this, if you'd like to keep it for your information. I'm going to run through this somewhat quickly because I want to talk about some other things. Most of our new members have been new members for quite a few months, but I have had some feedback that there is some confusion in the actual steps to achieving the next award, particularly among those acronyms, the AC, BLSC, MIT, DTM, OS. So, I also printed out a leadership track so that you can see what needs to be accomplished to be a DTM. And the one thing I'd like to point out is that you need to complete both the leadership track and the communication track to get to your DTM. The competent communication, I believe most of our new members are at least 1 or 2 projects into their competent communicator. It's 10 speech projects, and it provides the basic skills you need to get up in front of a group of people and speak on a topic, a predetermined topic, with predetermined goals, with whatever topic idea that you have. So you can speak about anything, but you're trying to stick to those goals and objectives for that project. And that helps you become better prepared to have a good idea and be able to apply it to many different types of speeches. I think one of the most important things about the competent communication is by the time you finish those 10 projects, you're pretty comfortable speaking in front of people. And it does feel pretty good to get that award at the end and your 2 new manuals so you can start moving ahead. And then there's the advanced communication after you've received your CC. And there are a series of, after you finish your CC, you get to choose 2 manuals for free for your next award. And you can pick any of these topics. If you like storytelling or something a little more lighthearted, there are a couple choices for you. If you're really working on your business professional skills, there are choices for you. And I won't read these to you since you have the PowerPoint with you. You can see what is in each of those manuals. Business and management. You can work on your sales and professional speaking. And then there are specialty manuals for special occasions, entertaining speeches. Once you've achieved your CC, the next award is the Advanced Communicator Bronze, the ACB. So you need to have achieved that CC and then complete 2 more manuals. Oops. And you'll find that that's a fairly consistent path throughout the communication track, is that once you have completed the award before it, then you do 2 more manuals and you achieve the next award. So moving on to the Advanced Communicator Silver, you have to have achieved that Advanced Communicator Bronze, and then 2 additional manuals. You also need to do 2 presentations from the Better Speaker series or the Successful Club series. The Advanced Communicator Gold, you have to achieve the previous ACS Silver, 2 more manuals, and then participate in a project related to Toastmasters to kind of spread the word in your community about Toastmasters and introduce it to a younger audience or an audience that's not familiar with Toastmasters and how it can benefit them. And then, of course, you should, by this time, really be mentoring and just continue that process. Now let's go up top to the leadership. I've really been pushing this one, the Competent Leader Manual. That's a manual you should be bringing to every single meeting, because I think there are about half of those 10 projects that can be done simply by filling the roles of evaluator, timer, counter, Toastmaster. Real easy way to get those done. So if you come to a meeting regularly, just sign up for a role if it's available. Hopefully we've all done those roles enough that we're comfortable doing it. And hopefully you've also learned that we are pretty informal in this club. It's a very structured agenda, but you certainly shouldn't be intimidated by anyone in here who you think might be judging you on what you're saying. None of us really know what we're doing, but that's why we're here, we're learning. So you do your 10 leadership projects. That helps you develop some leadership skills that maybe you didn't have before. And then you get a nice certificate for that, suitable for framing. And these are all of the projects. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can all be done just by filling the leadership, just by filling the roles that are already on the agenda every week. 7 is the same way. And let's go back to, oops. The team building. We have a speech contest coming up, and I will be putting out, after my speech, the November and December meetings so that you can sign up for those. And I've included in that an upcoming speech contest that we'll be having, so you can fulfill some of your team building by signing up for a duty with the speech contest. Once you've completed your CL, you move on to the Advanced Leader Bronze. And in the leadership track, you also need to have achieved your CC. You need to serve as an officer for 6 months, helped with the club success plan, which you will do as part of being an officer of the club, and then do 2 presentations from either of these. I'm doing one right now, new member, or what is the name? The name of my speech, the educational program. And then you'll move on to the Advanced Leader Silver, so you need to have achieved the bronze, served as a district officer. Who here is a district officer or has been a district officer? So you can see that that's definitely achievable. Be a club sponsor, mentor, or coach. What is that woman's name that has come? Malay. Yeah. She's also sort of a mentor, though. Is she serving?
Well, that's not defined.
Okay. And then once you've finished that, you move on to the Advanced Leader Silver, HPL, High Performance Leadership. And it's 5 projects that all have to be done within or outside of Toastmasters to further the Toastmasters mission. And you're evaluated on all of these along the way, just like you are in your competent communicator. And then, once you've completed all of those, you are eligible to become a distinguished Toastmaster.
You're good. Great. Good job.
So you've got your Advanced Communicator Gold and your Advanced Leadership Silver, which you see as the last 2 boxes on this. And you're moving right into your Distinguished Toastmaster. And then you're kind of like a black belt. You can just keep getting them. Ask Adrian about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can be a 4-time Distinguished Toastmaster. And this club is a great way to get started down that path. The next thing I want to talk to you about is I have introduced I'm throwing down a challenge, people. I'm throwing it down. I've got 3 people who are all tied for first. I'm not naming names. Actually, I'm going to name names in a second. But we're going to try a little contest to see who can get their competent communicator within 1 year, within their first year of Toastmasters.
That's me. This is my first year.
Oh, right. Poor Adrian. He's suffering from dementia.
I wonder if there's a pill for that.
You don't get anything. You don't get anything.
From old manuals from 19 whatever.
So this is how it's going to work. Essentially, the first to finish their competent communicator this year, and it's this fiscal year, which ends June 30th, you're going to win a special prize, and boy, is it special.
If you'll turn them in before May the 1st, I'll give you a special.
Oh, okay.
Before May the 1st.
It is doable.
Yes, it is doable.
Toastmaster Brittany Lee has set that goal for herself.
I'm going to do it
So I don't mean to give away her secrets, but she has already planned out exactly how she's going to do it, people. people who are also in the race. But for those that might not have started yet, as Brittany has, a couple of tips. Sign up for a speaker role now. Don't worry about what you're going to speak about. Just take a speaker role. There's November and December right here. Then you can brainstorm your topic ideas. Read your project goals so you can fit it in. Pair that topic with one of the projects that's in there. Participate in an upcoming speech contest. That counts, I think. It does.
It's an evaluation. If you do a speech anywhere, if you've got a Toastmaster.
Okay, bring your manual with you for the speech contest. And then please be in touch with your mentor with any help that you need along the way. Please be in touch with your mentor. You're not out there by yourselves. We're all here to help you. And even if it's not your assigned mentor, there's plenty of us here that would love to talk to you about your plans and your goals, and to give you what little advice we have. So according to my most recent count, this is where we are. So we have 3 that are vying for first, already 30% of the way done. And if I haven't put you in here for something that you think should be on there, you better tell me about it. You need to get credit for your speeches, people. So that's where we are, and that's where I shall leave you with your education orientation. Are there any questions? No? Okay. Please welcome back Antoinette Mitchell, who will be speaking about effective evaluations.
I would like to see T-shirts at the finishing line. You know, they say you got a T-shirt, I got a T-shirt, I got the hat and all of that to go with it. Wouldn't that be cool to have a Health Masters Toastmasters T-shirt that says I've finished, I got my hat and my T-shirt. Welcome again. I will bring to you evaluate to motivate. What are some words you think about when you hear evaluation? What is it you think about?
More money, more money, more money.
More money and what else? Encouragement. Encouragement. Inspire. But aren't there some other words that goes with that when you sit down? Critique.
Positive.
Constructive. And positive criticism. Think about you're sitting in the office with your boss. It is time for your annual performance evaluation. Do you feel inspired by that evaluation? This side is clapping. I think they're hoping for that this year, or you have experienced it. It is wonderful to get an inspiring evaluation when you are heading up the career ladder. You want to hear positive words. Oftentimes, words that come to my mind, they're not on the screen, but I'm talking from self-experience. Words that come to my mind for evaluation includes a review, feedback of the information. You want to hear something good and something you can improve on, right? If there are any problems, you will tell that person about the problems, or your boss will tell you this is an area that you need to improve in, right? Let's look at what the outline has to say. Let me move this over here. We shall get through this. There we go. Evaluation benefits speakers, and we want our speakers, the Toastmasters, to be benefited. One of the things that we look at is immediate feedback, and you will get that. You've experienced that when you come to the Toastmasters meeting and make a speech. We're going to give you your feedback before you leave this room. It will be oral feedback. And how do we give that oral feedback? We want to give methods for improvement as well as helping to maintain your self-esteem. How did it feel? Who's in the running again? Camille, Toastmaster Camille. How did it feel when you made your first speech and people offered you feedback in the form of an evaluation?
I think I was more afraid of what was going to be said before the evaluation. But once I was evaluated, it made me feel good. And I wasn't afraid to try it again. There were positive points. There were things I needed to work on, of course, too. But I came back.
Good. And that's the main point that the evaluator wants to bring about. We know that you are afraid the first speech, second speech, maybe even to the sixth speech, right, Toastmaster Simpson? We are afraid, but we still do it. And why? Because we've got people who are supporting us, who want to see us grow, who want to see us make that CC 10th speech come out with your award. Speaking to people in a manner that will bring about the encouragement, the support, will help that Toastmaster. Do you remember Toastmaster David? Do you remember one of your first 10 speeches, how you felt and people gave you some feedback? Did it build your self-esteem? Did it cause you to want to come back and speak more? Tell me just a little bit, how did it feel?
I was really building this up. One thing that was really helpful, it did make me feel good. I was told, I was using the word and connecting sentences. I never thought about that. The evaluator said, Dave, that's distracting from your message. Really, it kind of dawned on me, wow, I need to think more. I now try to end the sentence, then begin a new sentence, instead of speaking on these run-on sentences. I think it's helped me tremendously. That was the first evaluation I ever had. It's been wonderful.
And because of that, Toastmasters, David Rutney won first place, winner, at the conference contest a few years ago. Am I correct? I thought so. Evaluation. That makes you feel really good. You bring home a trophy and look at first place among all of the other Toastmasters. Very good. You have something, oh, you were going to give it to the people I asked. Thank you. Oh, unless they have the microphone. Okay, my bad.
Repeat the whole thing, no, I'm just kidding.
One of the things, well, no, I'm going to get to yours in just a minute. How to evaluate effectively. First of all, to be an effective evaluator within the club, let's look at those club objectives. What are those, the speech objectives? Know what the person is going to talk about. When you look on the club agenda, that's why we must sign up early. You will get your plan for what you are going to do, how you are going to get that person evaluated, or some things you're going to look at. When I say get them evaluated, look at the objectives in the manual. Each manual speech has objectives. I remember Toastmaster Biddle telling me she made every one of those objectives. She got every single one of them. I remember her saying that. That encouraged me to continue to review, to underline, to highlight my speech objectives so that the evaluator will have more information to give to us. The evaluator will have better feedback to give to us. They are good evaluators. We have very experienced evaluators here, but we do need other things to go by. I said that we would give the oral evaluation as well as a written evaluation. We want the speaker to see and hear and feel the effects of the evaluation. Evaluation guidelines and any concerns. Let's talk about that If it's something that should not be shared in the public, hold that. Hold that thought. Don't share it in front of the 15 or 16 members that we have. Let's do that privately. You can also write a little note to that person in the book to say this is something you want them to continue or not continue doing. Let's learn to encourage. During the speech, we need to show that we're interested. We should not be fumbling around sometimes like I do with papers, looking at this, thinking about the next thing that's going to happen. Let's focus clearly on that person. Let them see us watching them, and as well as when we get up, there was an and, when we get up, that we focus on that person. Remember, the speech is not, the evaluation is about the speech and not about the person. You are going to build valuable skills so that you can build your career. More skills to build. During the evaluation, choose our words carefully. Rather than saying, well, you didn't do this and you failed to do that, let's choose some other words. Let's use for instance, the word I recommend. That word that you use in a sentence was good, but I think a better word can be used. Don't have your face like mine is, kind of frowning up. I wouldn't say that if I were you. That was my voice volume in high gear. I don't know who that was, but anyway. When you are evaluating the speaker, the one thing to keep in mind, these three things, and I learned it from David Rutney. Now you can take the microphone to him. He says it almost in every speech. Help us out, David.
I have no idea. I say this
I'll
for
give you
every
some
speech.
chocolate. Will that help you out?
Oh, the make the audience tall.
Yes.
We want to connect with the audience and to help
Connect.
leave them with information to change their lives for the better. Remember this acronym. Write it down. Burn it to your memory. Make the audience tall. Make them tall. The acronym for think, act, laugh, and learn. That's how we connect with people. And that's, by the way, how I won that speech contest, because I just used that acronym. It was like a roadmap. Philip was there. No one else had any kind of a roadmap, but people knew where I was going with the evaluation because I said I'm going to cover the 4 elements of the TALL method. People knew, okay, Dave's talking about how they made me think, then he's going to go and how it made me act. They knew what was going to happen. And that's why I think I won, because no one else did that. People had no idea where they were going with the evaluation. I think it's helpful when you give people a roadmap, they kind of know where you're going, and I think that helps connect with the audience. Make the audience tall. That's my recommendation.
All right. Thank you. Good job. Make the audience tall. Also, another option to use is what I saw, what I heard, what I felt. An example of that is in the speech contest that I competed in the humorous speech contest. If I were to evaluate myself, I would say, Toastmaster Antoinette, what I saw in the speech that you made about the football is coming your way, I would say that you were good in the acting of a parent. You pronounced your words clearly. What I felt is that you had a heart for that mom, and you were right there taking us with you all the way to the bench when he hurt himself, and all the way to when the football hit your head. Those are some things that I heard, that I saw, and what I felt. What would I improve about your speech, Toastmaster Mitchell? I would improve the actual talking fast, or also, I would recommend that you not turn your back to the audience when you fall and sway down as the ball hits your head. Keep your face to the audience. Keep connected with the audience. And I look forward, Toastmaster Mitchell, to you competing in the next contest. Madam Topic Master. Chief, you're really supposed to say Chief Judge, not the Chief Judge, Contest Chair. Contest chair are the words you're supposed to use. I might recommend that Toastmaster Mitchell relax a little bit before getting up there, rehearse a little bit. All of this, when you can trust a person, giving you this information. It makes you feel comfortable. You feel as though you want to please that person giving you the information that they gave. It'll build you up, make you tall. After that, what it will do is cause you to run fast to get your CC completed. Let's take a look at some more things that we can do as evaluating effectively. Avoid the disingenuous. Honest evaluations are upbeat and they are encouraging, while they still offer room for improvement. But we don't want to, let me go back, we don't want to get carried away in using so many of those ingenuous. Oh, we just brought it off, didn't we? We don't want to use too many of those. I'm in a club now. One person does nothing but praise, praise, praise. Oftentimes, what you can do as a mentor and experienced Toastmaster, you can ask that person, as I have done, I believe, in cases here, give me something that I can improve on. That helps you as well as the other person to think about, I need to put something in this evaluation that's going to help this person to improve. Also, when they improve in that area, you are doing a second evaluation for that person. Congratulate them. Be honest with them. I remember when you were once saying ands. I remember, Toastmaster Mitchell, when you were saying ahs, and now you have gone further in that, and you're no longer saying ahs and ands. What a wonderful speech you are making. You're heading for that $5,000 30-minute speech. I have finished now. This is the conclusion. Let's keep everything in order. At this point, we are going to ask for Q&A. Questions? I thought about I would flip it around and say, well, it's my questions and your answers. But usually in a situation such as this, we ask for your questions. Give us your questions. Where is the microphone? What questions do you have, Toastmasters? We started with members, talking about recruiting members. One question, bring it down to Adrian.
I have a question. Last week, we had a young man that did a 5-minute speech. Can any one of you in this room tell me how much money they gave him for a 5-minute speech? A 5-minute speech at a local club, a small club of less than 20 people, gave him $250. Good, give him a big hand. I'm challenging you to talk to Mr. Smith, because Mr. Smith did a speech for 45 minutes, paid his way all the way there and back, no charge, and gave him $10,000. There's a young lady named Miss Moore that did a speech, paid all of her expenses there and back, and gave her $3,000 for a 30-minute presentation. I'm challenging you to take the challenge.
Come down. Toastmaster Simpson. And get ready for the next person.
Come on down. Come on down.
Adrian, could you please elaborate on how a person can take the steps to possibly move into a position of paid speeches? Oh, and then finding your voice. I've heard some articles about how to find your voice, so anybody can kind of.
Yes. All right.
I can answer the question on finding your voice.
Good.
There is an article online on Toastmasters.org on finding your voice. There's also if you can go back to your new members packet when you first join the club, there is a pamphlet called Finding Your Voice. If that doesn't answer your question, then come back to Adrian. He's on the members. He will help you with that.
Go ahead. We will.
Okay. And then as far as the getting paid for the Toastmasters.
10,000. I want to get into 5,000.
But no. Let me explain that to you. You can't, once you become a Toastmasters had a program called the Accredited Speakers program, Accredited Speakers Bureau, if you go through that, now there's a fee to work through it. I think the fee is $250 or something like
If
that.
you'll send me an email, I'll send you the information to show you how you can make as much money as you want to make, truthfully.
But once you become an accredited speaker,
Right, that's the key.
you can charge money to speak.
Right. Well, they'll call you.
on that level?
Yes, they'll call you.
There's not any in District 43. However, Albino Smith is going to go through the program, and he's asked me to join him. I haven't agreed to it yet because,
You're all speaking.
and the only reason I haven't is because once I pay my money, I want to be committed to it. But we can do that because Albino's thing is District 43 is one of the only districts. I think, I don't know if we're the only one, but I know we're like one of the few districts internationally that does not have any listed accredited speakers.
We have some good speakers.
And we do.
Adrian,
We do.
have you thought about it, Adrian?
Yes, I have.
We got quite a few good speakers.
And everybody
Mike,
in this room.
Mike, what is Mike's last name? Mike, he's a member of
Oh, I knew.
Hanum.
Mark, talk to
Mike
Harper, yeah.
Mike Harbor.
Harvard.
He gets paid for his speeches, but he's not an accredited speaker.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
If you'll send me an email, I'll get the information to you that will help you, if you'll follow their recommendation. Not a problem. It depends
I
on how
mean,
much you-
yeah, it's a speakers bureau. If you go on Toastmasters.org, there's more information about it.
Craig Newmaker can also help you. Craig Newmaker, we sent him the information, you will speak. Craig Newmaker.
Yes, ma'am.
Brittany and I spoke last week.
Yeah, I was there. They did great.
Oh, good. Outside of
Brittany and I
Toastmasters
spoke last
speaking.
week. Got some Danishes and some coffee and a nice little thank you card. It's a start.
Yes, it is. You got to start somewhere, right?
That's where you start.
You heard about Mukasa. I'm not an accredited speaker, but 3 weeks ago I was flown to Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Never had a chauffeur. The airport to the hotel, back and forth. Well, I'm speaking on subject matter, but I had that confidence because I'm a Toastmaster. And checks may come later, but at least I have that entrance into this world of, said, okay, next year they may call me again. How about that?
Charlie Simpson.
And you heard about my speech at the State Board of Health meeting at dinner. I was the
Keynote speaker.
man, who am I?
Fantastic.
And as y'all know, I came in second in the humorous speech contest for the division.
Yes, division winner.
And my pastor was so kind as to recognize me in front of
Oh,
the
everyone
congregation
congregation.
yesterday.
Excellent.
And presented my plaque in front of the congregation yesterday.
That's where you start.
Well, you know, because I'm the Christian Ed director in the district
Yes.
for the Union District, and he always doing stuff like that. But anyway, my point is, because of Toastmasters, we have all these skills, leadership and speaking. Toastmasters does a lot for me. It could do the same thing for you guys. Leadership and communication. I don't know if all of you know LaTanya Bynum, but a couple of years ago, LaTanya Bynum received $500 for a speaking engagement. And she was in our club
Member
at the
of our
time.
club.
And because she accredited our club for that, being able to do that, she gave some of that money back to the club.
Yes.
Right?
I want to say one thing is that LaTanya can help sent me a message the other day, said she'd love to help people find their voice, get paid for speaking. I guess she's doing that. She's actually...
She's opened her own business now.
Okay, opening her business. But she might be someone to talk to. I'd be happy to connect you with her.
Please do that.
I can't remember the name of the business. She told me.
No, but it's on the side.
It's in a,
She's working for HP, I think, right now. But she's a wonderful person. In fact, I think you know her, Charlie. But anyway, we'll connect you. Sure.
yeah.
Connect everyone with her. Sure.
Is there a schedule for the contest? Is there a schedule that's produced well in advance?
Yes, ma'am.
Could you repeat,
At the contest that she was referring to in
Joyce.
her speech?
Joyce, excuse me, could you repeat that since she doesn't have the microphone? What did Brittany say?
Okay. Brittany asked, is there a schedule for the contest? Yes, there is. The contests occur twice a year. However, since I don't know about the one in the fall, though. It might be eliminated.
They vary.
The humorous speech, it might be, I don't know. We'll find out at the meeting coming up in November, because internationally they have told us to stop having the fall conference, but we in the district are trying to come up with another plan for that, because we like having human speech contests and other things. But anyway, in the past, what we've done is there are two sets of contests. Now, actually, the international speech contest is the only one required by Toastmasters International. It occurs, it's a spring contest.
I mean, is there somewhere we can go?
But I'm getting there. Because every district has their conferences at different times. I can't tell you the exact dates, but I can give you the roundabout date. Okay, so the international conference happens in the summer, in August. Everybody should have their every district should have their spring conference before that. Somewhere around April, May, whatever, internationally. So that's when the international speech occurs. So in order to compete, in order for the divisions to compete in the district, they have to have had their division contest before that. Usually we have it a month before that. Then for the areas to compete in a division, they are occurring 2 to 3 weeks before that. And then the clubs have to compete 2 or 3 weeks before the area.
So it's usually January, February, March, April, and that's when the four have to be
Yeah.
in the club.
So we usually have our district conference sometime in April. Usually somewhere between the second,
15th and 20th.
the second or the last weekend in April. Because it's always the Friday and Saturday that the conference is, but the speech contest is the Saturday.
And we've got information for you regarding the fall contest that's coming up on November 10th and 11th. It's over on this board,
Yes.
and it is in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and it does change. But for you to be prepared for the contest, stay in touch with us. The main preparation is right here in the club meeting, and we will give you the dates. And whatever information you need further, as Joyce has said, we'll be able to give it to you.
But we do have the dates for the spring contest. We do have all those dates already. So we're going to, well, we can send that out now.
Can we? Okay.
There's
I don't
nothing to
have
keep
that
us from doing that. It's already been published.
Okay, okay.
I mean, you know, they've already told, but it's going to be in Memphis. The district contest is going to be in Memphis in, I can't remember, it's April something or another. It's the last weekend in April, that's right. Last weekend in April. And We have the dates for the area and the district contest already. And we discussed, the three of us, discussed the, we
Education.
supposed to be bringing that to the club.
The
We'll do that next
740
week.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Bring it, bring it.
yeah. But I will say this, to compete in the international contest, you have to have completed 6 speeches in your CC already before you even compete at the club level. Yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. Any speech that you do anywhere, somewhere else can count if there is a Toastmaster present that can evaluate you. So if you're speaking at Grand Rounds and there's a Toastmaster here, say if you're speaking at Grand Rounds and I'm here, I can evaluate you and that account in your manual.
Any Toastmaster can do that.
Any Toastmaster.
Anywhere, anybody.
Anywhere you're speaking and there's a Toastmaster present and you have your manual with you, a Toastmaster can evaluate you in that account.
Okay.
In Atlanta,
Well, but I won't be in Atlanta.
Any Toastmaster.
But if there's a Toastmaster in the room,
Any Toastmaster in the group can evaluate for you.
but no,
FYI.
but let me ask this. Do you know if it's going to be, if it's going to be videotaped? I can evaluate it.
When you get there, if there's any Toastmaster there, always ask about Toastmasters, because any Toastmaster in that group can evaluate your presentation. No matter
I
who
have-
you are. Internationally, we have people in China, Japan. We have a lady that flew back all the way from China 3 weeks ago just to be at our Capital Toastmaster. She flew all the way from China to Little Rock to the state capital. Yes.
I have visited clubs in Atlanta. There are plenty of clubs there. I'm not for sure.
Doesn't mean they'll be at the conference.
They may be somebody.
But if you contact
but
them, if
here's
you
another
contact
here's
them,
an- here's
then they can
another option.
arrive. They will be glad to.
Here's another
And
option.
oh, one more.
APHA usually records those. When the recording is available, you can send it to one of us to review and we can evaluate you.
Thank you very much for those questions and answers. We're about to forget Molly. Molly, our guest today. I know, Molly, thank you for coming. Will you come back again and then we'll give you a time to stand up and speak?
Yes.
Next week, promise?
Yes.
With chocolate. Okay, thank you. We are calling this meeting to order. I'm sorry, adjourn. Stop talking, the meeting's over.
Anybody that's a prospective new member, I have magazines for you to give to any new prospective member. We need 30.
I have one, thank you.
Okay, we'll give you
Oh,
extra.
you need to get,
Extra.
I need to give you something else.
Okay.
Yes, Pat.
Yep. Yes.
I need to give you a guest pass.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everybody.